Implements to the scan to add feature, so you can add inventory to your Beacon account by scanning your UDIs. So first open up the navigation by clicking on the hamburger icon in the upper left. Go down to inventory, and you can access this by going to the imports tab or the all-in. After you've done that, you'll see this screen pop up. So what we're seeing here is two options for how to enter your UDI. So first, you can copy and paste the UDI into the search field as text. That will allow you to search the GoodID database. Or you can click Scan Items, which will open up the camera on your device and allow you to hold that over the barcode and scan it in. So I'm going to do that now. There it went. And it automatically recognized my barcode really quickly. So if I just X out of these scan windows, you'll see here that we have scanned in the item. It read the UDI, it went over to the FDA's GoodID database, and it pulled all of this product info for us. So now I can do a few things. I can modify the quantity using the plus or minus buttons here. I can also change the manufacturer, because sometimes you'll find, especially if you are in distribution in the field, that the UDIs were registered with the FDA by the contract manufacturer instead of the company you are purchasing them from, the name brand company. So you can actually go into the manufacturer, and as long as you have the manufacturer set up in your directory, you can select a different manufacturer here. So you would delete the name, and then you'd be able to select from all of the manufacturers that are there in your directory. Easy as that. Now let's say you have a few more items that you want to scan. So you can go back and hit Scan Your Items. That'll pull up the camera again and just scan the next barcode in the list. However, what if you scan a duplicate? So let's do that. I'll hit Scan Items. There we go. Scanned it. The duplicate item screen will pop up. It'll let you know that you accidentally scanned that twice. And you get to decide if it was an accident. So, you can say ignore dupe as an accident, or you can choose to increment your scan count, which would just add a 1 to the quantity on the previous page. And if you don't want to see this anymore, you're purposefully scanning a barcode, getting this duplicate item warning. So I'm going to just say increment, which will bring up our, there it goes again. So you'll see you have another option on this screen, aside from scanning barcodes, and that is scanning text. This is an old feature, but let's go through and make sure you know how to use it. So click Capture Text if you want to use this option. And then you can select an image from your photos or take a picture. So I'm going to take a quick snapshot here of our UDI. We'll say Use Photo. And then that UDI image will show up here. Now, what it is asking us to do is crop down the image to just include the text. That's going to help our object character recognition software to read the text as well as possible. And then click the button to analyze. Now you want to read through this and make sure that the software parsed it correctly. For instance, you need to come in here and correct those. Type in my $signs, make sure my UDI is correct. And the rest of that looks good to me. So we'll say complete. And it will go ahead and increment that quantity again for me, since I was using the same UDI. If I was using a different UDI, it would add a new card to this page. Otherwise, click Import Inventory, and your inventory will get created. On this screen, otherwise, click Import Inventory. And on this screen, make sure you are selecting the right custodian where you want the inventory to go. So whose custody is it going into? And then, usually if you're creating inventory to sell, it'll be considered billable. But in some instances, maybe you're creating instruments and you don't want to do that, you can uncheck the billable box, which is checked by default. But click continue and your inventory will be created. Click on the view imported items and you'll be able to jump to a filtered view of the inventory that you just entered. So that is how you can use Scan UDI with some of our brand new features to easily create your inventory just by scanning barcodes.